Arsenal Fan TV, just chilling, looking forward to the game this weekend. Arsenal taking on Crystal Palace. You know what? At the moment, games are, even though I'm looking forward to them, are a little bit of an anti-climax because we kind of know that the league's gone. But listen, we got to keep following the team, and I just love Arsenal anyway, so I just love going to watch us play. But listen, this video, I received an email from a guy called Adriaan Mellegers. Adriaan Mellegers. He's based over in Amsterdam, big Arsenal fan, and he said, Robbie, love the channel. Can you please make an item about this? And basically, he sent a link to a story, which is, I don't know if you guys can see that here. That's the story here. And basically, the headline of the story is, Arsene Wenger says Arsenal's summer transfer activity will be limited. You know what? We haven't even got yet into transfer time, transfer daily and all that sort of stuff. And already he started. And, oh my God. You know, I just don't understand and I don't get it at the moment with Arsene Wenger. I'm not sure if he really understands the mood of the fans at the moment. The mood of the fans is that they're really, really frustrated with this season. It's a season where most fans felt that Arsenal should have won the league this year. We were ahead for much of the season. We were in a great position and basically we've thrown it away, really. Well, hats off to Leicester, but we've thrown it away. And Arsene Wenger is not going to leave. I think most fans know that he's not going to leave. He's got 1 year left on his contract and he always sees his contracts out. So he's going to be here for at least another year. That's my personal opinion. I don't think he'll leave. I think he'll be here for at least another year, right? If you're going to be here, and remember, a lot of fans don't want him here. They want him gone. They've had enough. This season's been a mirror of frustration for them that they've seen season after season after season. And there's a lot of fans out there that are saying to themselves, you know what, Arsene Wenger, you've been great. Well, what the banner says, isn't it? Thanks for the memories, time to say goodbye and stuff like that. So there's a lot of fans that already don't want you here. But listen, if you stay on, you're going to stay on. It's going to be whatever we think. That doesn't mean anything. You're going to stay on. But the one thing that I think that could kind of lift the spirits of Arsenal fans in the summer is a very, very good transfer window where we see some top class players come into the squad. And I think there's a lot of fans and they think to themselves, I want to see that. If you are going to stay, at least I don't want to see your usual crap every season where, you know, we're just, you know, messing about in the transfer window. I want to see some serious action. And when you see headlines like this, Arsene Wenger says Arsenal's summer transfer activity will be limited. And it's not just a headline. Let's read into the headline a bit. Let me find this quote. Here we go. He says, Wenger said, these are his words, if you look at the top three teams, you'll see that they have not changed their team a lot. We have to strengthen our squad, but it's obvious to find players, despite the money the English clubs will have, will be very difficult. We're already working, but we have to find the players, and it's not easy. And then he goes on to say, you cannot dismiss the players that are young, like Alex Iwobi, 19, Mohamed El Neni, Francis Coquelin, 24. They'll be stronger next year, but you need to keep the core of players and strengthen where we can. The team is going in the right way. My God. And it just starts to sound like stuff that we've heard before when it comes to Arsene Wenger in the transfer market, where basically he's trying to say basically that it's going to be hard to sign players and we've already got a good squad and we don't need to add much. No, 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 not this time. This time in the summer, Arsene Wenger, you need to get the money out and buy 2 to 3 world-class players to add to this squad if we're going to have any chance of winning the Champions League. No more excuses, no more rubbish. Get out there and buy those players. You know, I don't want to see no more. What have we had over the last few years? We've had things like, oh, Gonzalo Higuain, oh, it's a little bit too expensive, no. Julian Draxler, oh no, we're only prepared to pay about 25 million. That's what we think he's worth. We're not paying 30. You know, just so many of them, you know what I mean? All the time, you know, all the time. Oh, we're not prepared to pay 40, 50 million. We'll pay 40 million and £1. And losing our targets all the time because we're just like babies. We're just like useless in the transfer market. I want to see us be bold in the transfer market. I want to see us be aggressive in the transfer market. Go to, say, for instance, Everton and say, right, we want Lukaku because we're looking for a world-class striker and we think this guy potentially could be a world-class striker. Say he's young, he scores goals at every club he's been in the Premier League, and we're going to put him into a better team with better players, right? Lukaku will be brilliant in our team. Here's an offer on the table of £50 million for Romelu Lukaku. Get Everton spooked where they're like, oh my God, they put 50 million on the table. Not, oh, how much do you want? Oh, that's a little bit too much. What? No. And this is why I think at Arsenal, and I want to ask you guys this question. If you look at every top club across Europe, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, PSG, Manchester City now, Juventus, every single one of those clubs have either a sporting director or a director of football his job is to go out there and buy the players. Arsenal runs on a very old-fashioned way of having Arsene Wenger, one guy doing all the, you know, oh, I want this person, that person. And this is one of the big problems with Arsenal. The most successful teams in Europe do not operate that old-fashioned system where the manager does everything. They have a sporting director or a director of football, and that is what we need at Arsenal. We need that now. Even if Arsene Wenger doesn't go, we still need that now, because if you think about it, if he does stay for only one more year, players that he goes out to buy this year, they'll be uncertain of their future. They'll be like, you know what, all right, I'll come and sign for you, Arsene, but if you leave at the end of next season, what happens when the new guy comes in? He might not fancy me. And this is why you have sporting directors and directors of football who say, well, right, it doesn't matter if the manager goes. We have bought you for Arsenal Football Club. You're part of our plans. We, at the very least, need that. We're operating on an outdated, old-fashioned system, and we need to change. And this is why, season after season, we miss the targets that we need to get. And it cannot afford to happen this season. I personally think that, you know, we need that director of football in now. I don't like the sounds that are coming out of Arsene Wenger already. We need to strengthen this team big time. What do you mean just a couple of players? It's a core. We need a world-class striker. We've needed it for seasons, and we must get it this summer. We need another world-class midfielder, possibly a holding midfielder. Can Arsenal be bad enough and bold enough to go to Leicester and say, you know what, Kante, here's 35 million on the table, we want him? Are Arsenal bold enough to do that? That's what I want to start seeing from Arsenal. We need a world-class centre-back. We need a leader in that team, a world-class leader of men. That is what that team is lacking. We need to identify those players and buy those players. I don't want to hear nothing about difficult. I don't want to hear nothing about it's going to be hard. This is Arsenal Football Club. We're a big football club. Let's start behaving like a big football club. Arsene Wenger, I'm hoping that this is a smokescreen, but I don't like the sounds that's coming out. And, you know, I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm getting a bit upset about this already. And I haven't even started doing Transfer Daily yet. I mean, if this is what the summer's going to be like, I can see me at the end of the season, when it comes to transfer time, having a nervous breakdown. I'll tell you. Listen, leave it in the comments below. Let us know what you think about what Arsene Wenger said. Remember the headline again. Arsene Wenger says the summer's transfer activity will be limited. What do you guys? I think I already know what a lot of you are going to say. Maybe some of you might be saying, actually, he's saying the right thing. It's right to be cautious at this time of the season and that we don't need to make many changes. I don't know. I don't want to put words into your mouth. Leave it in the comments below and let me know what you think about it. Thank you very much to Adriaan for suggesting this topic. That's another thing, guys. I really, really appreciate it when you would suggest topics for me to discuss. If you have any ideas or any topics you wish for me to discuss, always feel free to email them into arsenalfantv@gmail.com. And also, don't forget to look out for my brand new channel starting next week called Man Like Robbie, where on that channel we'll be discussing all things football. So make sure you get along and subscribe to that channel. But listen, let me just look ahead to the game. Thanks very much for watching Arsenal Fan TV.
By that point, Rangers and Celtic were the only two teams really doing anything in Scotland. And from our point of view, you'd get home, you'd watch Scottish football and you stick on Match of the Day, and the Premier League was booming, just like it is in every other country in the world. Around about the same time, Rangers and Arsenal played a friendly match. So players like your Lundbergs and your Keowns and all that, they all came up and Henri, but everyone was there. And I watched them play, and that was round about the time after I just watched the Liverpool-Arsenal Cup final, which obviously watching that, you can't not fall in love with Arsenal and be heartbroken for them.